Hi, I will show how I painted her and watch till the end as I animated her a little bit as well, or just check at the end how it looks. So I'm going to start with just adding a shading for my image, so it's not completely white. On a new layer, I'm going to use an airbrush and a darker color. This is just to add some shadows for my reference. So I'm adding in the places where I feel it should be the darkest. Now I'm going to add some highlights. I'm just going to choose a blending mode add for this. So this is where I feel it should be the lightest. And I'm just going to add more. I'm just shaping looks. I'm adding some colors for her eyes. And I'm adding some shading on, I'm creating her skin tone. Again, I'm adding some shadows. And I used a lighter background as I'm creating a skin tone. Yellow and pink tones. Then I'm creating her eyebrows and adding some shadows on her eyes. I'm adding some shading on her lips as well. I also still have my sketch visible as I have it on multiply blending mode, so it's easy to follow. I'm going to create some shape for her nose. And I'm going to refine her eyes a bit. I want her eyes to be the main focus. That's why I chose blue, and I think it really works well with the red here and light skin tone. And I'm adding some shading in her eyes. I want them to look as if they're glowing, as if she was around the water, and if you could see the reflection of water in her eyes. I added her eyelashes. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to recreate my sketch and paint it over. I'm trying to make her eyes as if she had makeup. And I'm adding some highlights to her eyes, just to make sure that, as I said, so her eyes becomes the main focus. And I feel she has really beautiful big eyes. I'm working on her here. Now I'm adding some shading to her eyebrows. And I'm going to work using warp tool a bit on the shape of her eyebrows. I made them quite dark, and I'm going to use eraser, inking, and I'm going to delete around to make them look more natural. Now I'm going to delete my sketch that it was still visible through the painting I just did. Now I'm going to add some shadows on her face, around her eyes, around her nose, just to make her look more natural. I'm using soft brush and then I smudge it with the smudge tool. I'm adding her some eyeshadows. So I'm trying to create a makeup. I'm adding some thin lines around her eyes and to have some sharpness. Also I'm adding some pinks to her cheeks and some shadows around her nose. I'm always using either brush or smudge tool while I'm refining her skin. Now I'm going to work on her lips. Yeah, my kids just brought me a marker. They said they want to help me. So I'm adding some more shadows as I work. That's why I try to zoom in and zoom out my canvas, just to see where more shadows or highlights are needed. Now I'm going to work on her skin and her shoulder. For me, it's really important to get her hair as nicely painted as possible, so I want to animate them. And also have to make sure that they're on different layers, so it's easier for me to animate after I finish painting. Also, I pay a lot of attention to her from here, as I think they add so much to her character. Okay, I'm adding some more highlights to her here. And some hair strands. I made her lips really glossy because I want to make her a bit makeup. I'm adding some more shadows around her face. And some shadows over here on her face. Now some highlights in the background. That's what I have so far. And I'm going to do some final touches. I did that. I recorded this in Procreate. I added some flowers, some shading. I added some more detail on her hair. And that's the animation. If you enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. See you soon!